Man, it's finally over. The curse is broken. Now I can relax, enjoy the summer, and stop stressing about Mythic Plus. I even got a new girlfriend, Orkita.
If you don't tell me I'm pretty, I'm gonna rip out your heart and eat your soul.
Ah, isn't she lovely? Life is good.
I'm hungry.
I better get her some food. What was that? I'm sure it's nothing. I'm probably tired from all the dungeons and I need to take a nap. What the? Another weird dream? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Nah, I'm probably just overthinking it. I should cool off and clear my head. Wow, this was weird. I think I've had too much to drink. Oh, that's bad. I should probably stop roleplaying on the beach and get to work. There's no time to waste. Okay, last time I finally managed to rid myself of the curse and began moving forward. However, before going forward, some preparations were needed. I wasn't going to go into these dungeons completely unprepared this time. So, I watched a tutorial. I upgraded my gear using my crests, added a macro, which it's still something, and a cooldown manager to track some of my cooldowns, which you won't get it, it's very advanced stuff. And finally, one of my kind viewers wanted to help me out and gave me some potions and enchants. I've never had to haggle to pay more for something before, but here we are. I couldn't accept this for free. And after some negotiations, we landed on 3k gold, which I don't know if it's a good deal or not, and honestly, I don't care. It's the gesture that I really appreciate. And with that, I was ready for Algeth'ar Academy. Finally, after more than 2 months, we were moving away from those pesky +2 keys. I have better gear, better keybinds, consumables, and I had learned from my mistakes. I was prepared. However, this exact run almost made me quit the tanking journey. More on that later. Good thing I got those potions earlier, just so I don't use them. After a quick haste buff grab, it was time for the first poo. And just look at those beautiful cooldown icons. Really great suggestion from you guys. I've seen people pull this entire room, but I was still unsure about the difficulty and my own sturdiness after those upgrades, so I played it a bit safe. After clearing out the room, the giant tree in the middle awoke and it was time to cut it down. So far it seemed like bosses in +4 weren't that different from +2 in terms of difficulty. The boss has an ability called Germinate, and whenever he casts it, we need to stack up and walk in the same direction around the boss so we don't spawn ads everywhere. Which of course, we didn't do. Stuff started spawning all over the place. I did my best to drag the boss around so we could cleave the flower things, while one of the smaller trees was beating up my healer until I finally noticed and saved him with a taunt. Overall, this boss fight was a complete mess. It wasn't particularly difficult, but we managed to botch the mechanic a couple of times. Thankfully, it didn't matter and we got him soon after. Going forward, we faced the Guardian Sentry, who took 2 of our teammates out, resulting in our first deaths of the dungeon. This definitely slowed us down, but we kept going forward, clearing our way to the second boss. Kralth is a pretty cool boss. A lot of cool effects and mechanics, including some balls that need tossing or touching. Overall, a fun and not too difficult boss. I almost got knocked out of the arena a couple of times and one of our teammates actually fell, but we managed to take him out in the end. Now, I know there is some sort of a skip here, but I didn't even attempt it, since I didn't know how our percentage was going to look. We kept beating pack after pack, slowly but safely. For some reason, these guys really hurt me, and this was enough to convince me that I needed to do smaller poos, which was safe, but it also meant that time was eventually going to become a problem. Clearing out the next boss room is pretty dangerous, since interrupts are required, and the warrior wanted us to make bigger poos. So we did, and it was going decently well until it wasn't. People started dying, and at this point I'm not even sure if we saved time or actually lost time because of those deaths. After some roleplay, we began our fight with Veximus. Nothing too complicated. Touch the balls and put the puddles not in the middle of the arena. For some reason, this dungeon is full of balls. Our other warrior touched a bit too many balls and ended up dying. and with one less teammate it was difficult to deal with the boss. I died as well and got a combat res just as our last DPS died, and now it was just me and the healer. Another situation where wiping probably would have been a better idea, but instead we wasted a bit more time trying to salvage it, down to 12 minutes. It was looking grim, but there was still hope. I was told to pull more aggressively going forward, which I think was a good idea considering our timer. Second time around we still had one casualty, but thankfully we took him down. We began sprinting towards the final boss, pulling much more than I had been until now. Probably the way I should have been doing from the beginning. The warrior kept giving me tips, until he decided he was going to do things himself. Again, I'm not sure how good of an idea it was to fight so many of these guys in here, since they're difficult, it's a tight space, and our healer died because of it. But I guess it was fine. With 6.5 minutes left, we made it to the final boss, Duragosa. I wasn't sure where to place the boss. I just tried my best to keep her away from the portals that spawned, you guessed it, more balls. Unfortunately, people, myself included, kept getting hit, and the arena became a complete mess with flying balls from every direction, which inevitably resulted in us wiping. I wasn't discouraged, since we still had time. The other warrior, however, began putting the blame on our hunter, where I think we were all at fault. Now we had bloodlust, and a little less than 4 minutes for the +4 dungeon. This time it was looking better. Not as many orb spawning portals on the ground, until chaos engulfed the arena once again. People's health started dropping, the healer was doing his best, but one by one people started dying again. We wiped once more. The team morale was in the dirt at this point. The run was doomed. The warrior had some kind things to say in the chat before we gave the boss one last try, just to get some loot out of the dungeon. But sadly, more deaths and more complaining in the chat. In the end, it was just me against the boss, both of us on low health, staring each other down, and due to the lack of rage, I accidentally stopped my sound, couldn't press my heal, distracted myself because I wanted to resume the sound, and died. After that, people just gave up and left. Not to be that guy, but this warrior, yeah, called us dogs, but died the most and had less damage than me. This dungeon really tilted me. It was the last one I did for the entire day. With the timer running out, I had just wasted a whole day and gained no progress. Actually, I lost progress. I regressed back to a +3. A great skill for everyone to master is the ability to learn from past mistakes and move on. This sounded corny as fuck. In my failed attempt, I could have pulled more mobs and played better during the tank phases. So this time, I made sure to be better. This time around, I also remembered to use my potions. And I think I took the wrong buff from the NPC. Right off the bat, I wanted action. It wasn't the whole room, but way more than last time. Bloodlust on the first boss, mechanic done correctly, and we cut him down in no time. Sentry got no victims this time around. The pace of the group was just so much different than last time. And soon after, the giant bird got a one-way ticket for Kentucky, to become KFC if you don't get the joke. I was also feeling a lot more confident since I knew where to go and what to pull now. I even attempted to do the skip here, only to fail and fight all the mobs anyway, but the dungeon felt way easier. I mean, yeah, sure, it is a level lower than the last one, but I think it was also because the players were just better, myself included of course. Clearing out Veximus's arena was super easy when everyone was using their interrupt abilities. The boss himself was just as simple. Balls were taken care of by the whole group, which meant no casualties and a smooth kill. I kept doing the same bigger pulls, and we reached the final boss in no time. It felt like we were speedrunning it. With another bloodlust, we began bashing the boss that previously shamed me. This time, victory was mine. And with 14 minutes remaining, we +3'd the key for the first time ever. World record! I even got a new chest, which was highly needed. Definitely my greatest run so far. And more importantly, I could actually feel the difference. That failed run taught me what I was doing wrong. I changed a few things, and the next run went better. At this point, you may be wondering, what is my goal with these dungeons? I wasn't sure at first either. I wanted to reach 2 or 3k rating, but with the pace that I was doing things and with the tight deadline, that quickly became out of the question. It was certain failure and disappointment. So instead, I decided that timing a +10 successfully as a brand new tank would be an okay ending to this season. And with only a few days left, that became my goal. With a newfound purpose in front of me, it was time to go back to my roots. The place that had a certain incident scar me.
Cut. Dude, you can't keep making the same jokes over and over again. You said that one 2 times already. You need to be more original.
Okay, then what am I supposed to say instead if you're so smart and funny?
Well, I don't know, something like Skyreach, the place that cursed me, or Skyreach, the origin of all my problems.
Oh, okay, I like that one. It was time for Skyreach, the place where all my problems began, the dungeon that cursed me. With a new chest equipped and a new goal in front of me, I was ready to tackle the +6. After all those embarrassing moments, I was finally feeling a little better and more comfortable as a tank. This being a +6 now meant there wasn't a fix. And this week it was of course something to do with balls. Every now and then Xal'atath would appear and cast something that would make us all become closer with each other and touch each other's balls to dispel it.
Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantic.
Soon we reached Ranjit, who was no match for my door strat. The fight was easy, with some jumping and flying teammates of course, but that's just part of the experience at this point. And honestly, tanking feels a lot more fun when doing these bigger pulls. It really makes me feel like the main character, just like some people mentioned in the comments. Arcanath was a piece of cake, not a piece of shit, a piece of cake. Having done the dungeon before, it was a totally different experience. I knew where to go, I knew what to pull, and I could actually lead and move confidently without making mistakes, simply because I didn't know the dungeon. Look at all those birds. So satisfying. Next up was my old nemesis, Rookran, the boss that made me jump off the platform a couple of times before. Unfortunately for him, this time we came prepared, and he was the one to fall. Next up was the hardest boss in the game, the wind platform. I think I've seen warriors jump straight up, but I'm not sure how or if that's actually true or I'm just making it up. I tried my best to fight it, but in the end, the wind was stronger than me. And of course, I had to embarrass myself in front of these seasoned players. We kept going forward until I became overconfident, got stunned and died again. At this point, I was pulling my team back. Somehow the paladin dragged all the mobs back to us without dying, and we finished them off. I wish I could be this cool one day. Deaths were piling up and time was moving. After killing the last pack, it was time for the final boss. Remember when I said I was feeling confident to lead and tank this dungeon, since I've done it before? Well, unfortunately, we were 3% short of the objective. Meaning, after we took the boss down, we need to sprint and do another pack. Not sure where those 3% went. It must have been the wind. Now, thanks to another kind commenter, I know I have to help fight the bird that is kidnapping one of our party members. And overall, this boss was just another easy fight. With 9 minutes remaining, I charge in once again to finish the last of the enemy forces and claim our victory. Another successful dungeon, and another +2, which made us 2 steps closer to achieving our goal. I even got gifted an item. Boom! Previously, the +2 was a curse. Now it's a blessing that pushes us onward towards the finish line. However, next time, things were about to get serious. The next dungeon is not only the highest key I have ever done, it was a dungeon I had never tanked before. And this will be for the next episode. It's been too long since I uploaded, so I have to split this one. So thanks for watching and join me next time to see if this goal is achievable or not.